in Glendale. A vibrant tapestry of moments, big and small. From sharing laughter over a meal to the quiet strength found outdoors, Adventist Healthcare is here for every beat of your life. We celebrate your energy, your milestones, the promise of new beginnings. Adventist Healthcare is honored to be a part of your story. Within our walls, compassionate care meets cutting-edge technology, skilled hands, and brilliant minds, providing clarity and precision when you need it most. Because community is at the heart of everything we do, marking each step of growth and love. From the everyday to the extraordinary, Adventist Healthcare is committed to the health and well-being of our Glendale family. Learn more at adventisthealth.org/Glendale.
Hey, my name is Brian Keenan. I'm going to be going over a few really easy lighting setups that I did on a commercial here where we had to be keeping things really light so that we could move really quickly. So a lot of these are actually just 1 or 2 light setups. And here we go. So this first shot here of the girl playing the cello in the church is literally just one light. It's this 1200D coming straight from the side, basically. And you'll notice I had a bottom cutter on this light here. Without that, the pews to the right of her were just way too bright. I wanted to keep as much of the attention on her as possible, so having that bottom cutter definitely helped keeping the light off those pews on the right side of the frame here. And we're in a hospital lobby here. This one, we just put the 1200D outside to kind of mimic some sunlight coming in the window. And then the only other thing in play here is this 8x diffusion source, just acting as a fill. And that diffusion obviously looked nicer the closer that we brought the action to it. So I think it plays better on these guys on the left side of the room here than it did on the 2 women to the right side of the room. And as we moved into the actual doctor's offices, all we did was clamp a light mat onto the ceiling here for some nice soft fill. And then we still had that 1200D in play coming through the window. We just moved it down to come through this window now. Inside this operating room, my original plan was actually to bring the 1200D in here and to shoot it into the ceiling to kind of give a little soft lift to the room. But even putting that 1200D on the lowest possible power setting, it was still just doing too much. And just being lit by the actual operating table light that I instructed the talent to just periodically grab and move around just to make the shot, just make the lighting a little bit more dynamic. And I did actually lay some tubes just on the floors in the background. And that is where those blue accents are coming from in the background. All right, here's a really easy one. This bride and groom walking out onto the steps of the church. This is in full shade. The sun is on the 100% opposite side of the building. As you can kind of see in the corner of the frame here, I did bring that 1200D in just to give a little bit of an edge light. I don't think it did a ton in terms of shaping the light, but it did kind of give a little bit of edge to the bride's hair here and stuff. This is an interesting shot because it was actually filmed at 9 p.m. at night, totally dark out the windows. So what we did was put a light source in each one of these doorways to try and mimic daylight spilling through. I don't know if we totally nailed it, but looks pretty good to me. And one final touch is this grip put a tube light right in the corner there, just lighten up that wall because that was looking a little dark at first. This shot here was super early morning. Again, the only light in play here is the 1200D, and then also this big bounce. And as you'll notice here, the sun is just coming over that building, so we actually had to time this perfectly because I knew the sun would be hitting that bounce and our subjects at, I think it was like exactly 8:30 a.m. So that's kind of how we had scheduled our shooting for the day, to be set up and have our first shot up at 8:30. This shot's even easier. We were really going for speed on this one, so this is basically just the bounce set up right behind me here. And that's just giving them fill as they're being intensely backlit by the sun straight behind them. This restaurant, I started by having the 1200D up and then just a little Chimera soft fill. And I actually liked the look of just the soft Chimera light better. It just felt kind of cozier or more appropriate for the scene for whatever reason. So we ended up not even using the 1200 on this one. And we're back in the hospital here. This is obviously just a light mat straight above them. And again, with some blue tubes, just giving some accents to the background. And the reason I think the top-down lighting works so well on these medical shots is with that white blanket on the patient's body, you're just getting a really nice soft bounce back up, filling in the underside of the doctor's faces. And then she's just being filled by those computer monitors, and then she's got a little bit of an edge from the blue tube light in front of her and a little bit of a warm edge from the orange tube light behind her. I'm starting to sound like a broken record, but here's that 1200 going up again to play as our sunlight for this sequence of this couple finding out that they're pregnant. I kind of thought this room was tiny enough and white enough that I would get away with just that 1200 spilling around in there, but I did actually put a horizontally placed tube light hidden just against that wall out in front of them for some fill. Next up is these guys playing backgammon in the yard, and that again is just an overcast day with that 1200 in the background, just giving them a little bit of edge. Not doing much, but it's better than nothing, and it took almost 0 time to place. So we were able to knock this whole sequence out in like 15 minutes. Back in the hospital, I think this is the last scene I'm going to show you, but we're just doing that top-down light mat again, clamped into the ceiling. We still had a light in the adjacent room from that previous hallway shot I was talking about, so that's what you see breaking up that wall in the hallway there. A good point to mention about this top lighting is I don't put the light directly on top of the subject. I actually have it just slightly upstage, so that it's just barely backlighting them. And that's why we get like just a little bit of interesting shadows and contrast and stuff across the hands and his face and the shirt and everything. Alright, I hope somebody found this lighting breakdown to be helpful. If you did, let me know in the comments and I'll keep making more videos like this. Thanks for watching.